game, shoot, I said that you claim it. It's that Xbox, spin the block, his legs live. Fast talker, no riddling, moonwalking, selling moon rock just to make dividends. You in traffic with family? That much make it a portrait. Gun kick back, not grannies from porches. David on the scene, you know that it's scorching. What's the matter with King? No response to the saying, advancing the line, advancing the payment. You front the game and shoot, what said that you claim?
You already know the time, told my boys to hold the line. We gon' shoot it out in seconds, leave you posted like a vine. Bow your head down to the king, leave your roses at the shrine. We stay ready for the war, just need the king to drop the sign. Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? Say what you running from, what you running from? I'm with my team, we bleed green, that's what you wanted, huh? This what you wanted. This what you wanted, huh?
Man, oh man. Peace and blessings, and welcome back to Xbox Frontline News with your boy, the King. Oh man, we doing it up. It's Thursday. You know, we're getting ready for Fight Night Friday. Now, I'm having a little bit of issues over at Frontline Gaming Streams, but as you've seen today, I was playing Mario Kart. That stuff was up. We're going to be doing things a little bit different until I can work out the technicalities in that area. But at the end of the day, nothing will stop the show from going on. So tomorrow, Fight Night Fridays will be in full effect. Remember, last week was my wife's birthday, so wasn't no Fight Night Fridays. But this weekend, we will be back in full effect. And, you know, we'll be going live on Saturday with the Saturday show where we will have conversations about all the stuff that's transpired this week. So if you didn't catch any of the shows this week, we will do a weekly end recap with some news that I do have. Now, we hear all the crybaby mustard hearts crying about the Fan Fest not being in physical direct contact. Iron Lords Podcast will be in California during the show. All right, so Xbox will have a show. I'm going to tell you what's really going on from the people that's on the inside. Game comms, Freudian slip. Summer Games Fest will be at a huge high this year. Iron Lords Podcast will be there. So, at the end of the day, don't worry about that part. We will get all the information about everything, and I will bring it to you at Xbox Frontline News, because that's what we do. Now, we do have some Port Bacon Pony stuff that's happening. Who would have known? The first PlayStation exclusive launching this year is a re-release of an old-ass game that they had released and did all this stuff to you and made you buy it 20 times over. But we're going to talk about that in this next topic. These companies are milking you dry. Pause. They are, you don't have anything left. But here they go, making sure they get the last drop of milk out of you. Pause. 100%. Man, if only they were giving you different, greater experiences inside a service that you already own that you can show value for. Wow. If only that thing existed. You know what I would call it? I would call it Game Pass, because you get a pass to play all the games. Wait a second. See what I did there? Showed you value. But if it's your first time finding this channel, you found your new best friend. You understand? I drop videos daily, 8:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I got you. Let's get into these topics where we kick these ponies straight down the street because they are starving and they need something to eat. The Alters release is in June, coming to Xbox Game Pass. Now, it's been announced during the Triple I initiative that the Alters will be releasing in June 2025, coming to Game Pass. It's an official press release about the announcement of 11-Bit. The Alters coming in, upcoming science fiction game from 11-Bit Studios, the makers of The War of Mine and Frostpunk, where survival has never been so personal. The path of salvation begins with a question as old as humanity. What if if I had chosen differently? What I like about this game is it gives you that option to where would you be in the multiverse in your life, right? Different choices gives you different versions of yourself. Stranded on a hostile planet and racing against the deadly sunrise, Joe Jan Dowalski only chance of survival is to create an alters versions of himself shaped by roads not taken. Each Jan comes with unique skills, personalities, and memories tied to different choices in life. But they also come with different conflicts, doubt, and emotional baggage. Managing the mission means managing yourself, literally. Players must maintain a mobile base, make time-critical decisions, build relationships with their alters, and confront the consequences of their own past lives. As a new element to the trailer has leans into, the alters reveal that the hardship of exploring planet's unique biomes where deadly anomalies stand in your way. Levitating rocks and eerie distortions of reality catch your attention immediately, while the singularities remain invisible to the naked eye and require special tools to uncover. In every case, without careful critical approach, you may risk instant death, radiation-induced injuries, and even disintegration of time and space itself. You may want to avoid exploring at night, as the heightened radioactivity can eat right through your suit. These dangers add yet another layer to the survival experience, turning every expedition into a high-stake puzzle. The Alters is a game that I think will pique your curiosity, and it has me anticipating it in a way that you truly don't understand. The Alters. It was a game we saw at some show, but then we had got early access to it. And Cog was the only person that got early access to that game. I'm not a beta boy, all right? So me, I actually want to play my games and have fun and do this, that, and the third. But at the end of the day, if I got to review a game, I got to do something with a game, then I'm going to do that. But this wasn't one of those games that was on the docket for us to review. Speaking of that, I got to get back to Towerborn. But the Alters, it came up and we didn't hear any more about it. But now that we did hear about it from this the I Interactive show, we got a chance to see when it was going to launch. So now, remember, this is an indie game. But now it's launching for everybody. But at the end of the day, it's coming to Xbox Game Pass. And this is one of those games where you get a chance to live out that fantasy. If I can make multiples of myself, I will make one that is doing podcasting all day. I will make one that is doing comic books channel all day. I will make one that is streaming all day. I will make one that is running the business as well. Actually, I'll make 3 of them to run the business. And then I'll make one just to, explore the world. But me personally, making different alters is always a dream of everybody's. Everybody's wants more of themselves, I guess, in order to get more things done. And this game is that. But we never consider the downfall of it. The downfall of it is managing ourselves. As difficult as we are to other people, could you imagine managing yourself that has a different outcome or a different viewpoint in life because they took a different direction and their perception of reality is not the same as your own? So now they have that in a game. This is Buck Bananas. The concept is sick. Can't wait for it. Brightville, a first-person immersive action sim inspired by System Shock and BioShock. Manapunk blends industrial Victorian architecture, neo-boutique extravaganza, cyberpunk elements, dark fantasy environments, magic fuels machines. Brightville fate teeters on the edge of destruction. You play as an automaton guardian unaffected by the influence of the AI that controls the city. A living, reactive world. Environments respond to your actions, opening up multiple ways to approach the combat. Meet unique NPCs with motivations and stories that evolve based on your choices. Players can use stealth, combat, and manipulation to navigate Brightville and all its challenges. Combat, fast, dynamic, high, customizable, offensive and defensive magic spells that can be combined to create devastating effects and manipulate the environments. Element explosions. Music plays a strong role woven into the core of Brightville's world. Actions are emphasized by the soundtrack, making combat and movement feel more fluid and immersive. Fully orchestrated soundscope crafted by professional musicians. Coming to the Xbox, PlayStation 5, and the PC in 2027. This game is far out, and we are going to see it in all its glory at some point in time. But right now, we've been asking for a game in the vein of BioShock. Well, now we have it. Now that Brightville is a game that we got to pique our curiosity with. Now, I know everybody's thinking about BioShock and Underwater and all that other stuff and Big Daddies and all that stuff. And this game is inspired by that without being that. So let's see where the inspiration leads to. AI controlling the city. Is that too far-fetched? Automatons taking over? Well, what I saw was them using some type of dark magic. And that dark magic and fantasy world, it intrigues me. All of that stuff. What was the people on the side with the silhouettes, with the purple around them, with the smoky heads? What was that stuff? Are automatons the only thing that's inside the city? Or is there any organic individuals that's inside the city? What was that vampire dude that popped in? Looks like a vampire. Looked like Morbius to me from the comic books. But I don't know. I'm interested in this game. 2027? It's not next year. It's the year after. So let's see, right? Xbox expanding Play Anywhere. Now, Xbox determined to expand Play Anywhere and says it would help reach more players. Now, I know over the past couple of years, I wanted Play Anywhere to start to expand, start to get greater. And I believe Xbox believes that same thing. But being that we see the accelerated plans towards the hardware that is going to launch this year. A lot of people will tell you that, Xbox is not releasing hardware until 2027. That's ignorance. Xbox is releasing hardware this year and they're releasing hardware next year. They have a lot of partners in releasing OEM consoles with the Xbox brand. So those are not to be discounted as not releasing hardware. A lot of people are old fogies that want to stay stuck in their ways. Stuck in their ways will not get you to where it needs to be. And and when I say old fogies, I'm not talking about old people. I'm talking about a lot of you young people are trying to cult like the mentality of tech. Tech was never meant to be confined, locked away. Tech was always meant to grow, change, and innovate. And what you want to do is continue to do the same things over and over again. Somebody left a message, a response to my video talking about the definition of insanity is that's a myth and that ideology. I would love to have you jump on to a Discord and expound on your thesis because me personally, I understand exactly what the definition of insanity is because I guess you will have to add more language to that conversation. If you continue to be wrong and continue to do the same things, coming up with the same wrong answer, expecting a different result, inputting the same inputs, then that's the definition of insanity. All right. So don't get insanity conversation mixed up with consistency and longevity. That's different. For years, it felt like Xbox Play Anywhere was getting little attention from the folks over at the Team Xbox. Now, suddenly, it's become a big thing in 2025, quite possibly because the Asus Xbox handheld is on the way this year. Not to talk about the MSI. The MSI handheld is also going to make its way to market. It's the same thing with the Hewlett Packard. I just think the Asus is a whole lot closer to making it to market because the MSI Claw actually did the Steam OS, and they're going to let that breathe. But you forget that MSI also has Xbox Windows in the box. So whatever the case may be, it's great news for Xbox. To have the cross-buy system means that you can get access to PC versions of our home console games, and it sounds like the list is about to get substantially larger in the future. Xbox asks, and when talking to 4Gamer, a magazine or interview online or whatever, that we believe expanding the Play Anywhere will help the ecosystem grow and reach more players. We don't oppose the strategy on developers as a flexible option. I think the option should be inflexible, but I understand. I understand that you want to show the benefits of it and use the metrics of it in order to entice individuals to jump into the program. But being able to take your PC games and your console games and take it to any device that has those entitlements, cross-play, cross-progression, Play Anywhere actually is a great thing when it comes to the consumer, because it allows the consumer to be versatile with their digital license of a game that they purchased. I think that's freedom. I think that's putting the consumer first. I think that's the Xbox way. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. You know how it is. We're going to run it up on these bums. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. Them degenerates. Attention, all Spanish-speaking and all Latin countries. Attention, PlayStation Plus prices in Brazil increases a lot from this month. New prices impact all subscription plans. Sony has announced that the prices of all PlayStation Plus plans will increase from April 16th. The adjustment will be significant and will raise even more both monthly and annual values. The subscribers will suffer the impact from April 16th, while those who already have activated loyalty will pay the updated amount from June 24th, either through renewal or plan changes. Check out the new timetable below. 1 month, 43 rubles, I believe that is. 3 months, 114. 12 months, 359. PlayStation Plus, as you can see, is and that was PlayStation Essentials. That was the lowest tier. Let's see what the highest tier is. The PlayStation Plus Deluxe. 1 month, 76. 3 months, 219. 12 months, 691. Currently, subscribers as of June 24th, the Essential Plan, all that stuff goes up. Any changes made to your subscription from April 16th, such as upgrades and downgrades or additional or adding additional time during this time, will reflect the new pricing. You can change or cancel your subscription at any time. That's wild, dirty business. But they're not adding anything. They're not giving you anything extra. What they do is they're giving you the boot. They give you the kick in the nuts. A la Sony cart. You love it, right? Come on, you Sony ponies. You love this. PlayStation has bent the knee, folks. Marathon won't require PlayStation Network account on Xbox or PC. Don't expect another Helldivers fiasco. Ahead of the Marathon gameplay reveal on April 12th, developer Bungie has promised the folks on non-PlayStation platforms you won't need a PlayStation Network account to play. Marathon will not require a PlayStation account for players on PC or Xbox, Bungie said in a post for the game official Discord channel. Wednesday afternoon, the announcement prompted excitement emoji reaction from players in the forms of dozens of flames and a few hearts and inexplicably pregnant men. That's crazy. This is the biggest news for me. The user who started the conversation saying, It feels like now I can truly feel excited for the game, which is kind of stupid. It sounds like a weird concern needing a PlayStation Network account on a Windows, PC, and Xbox Series X, but players have learned to worry about such conditions thanks to the fiasco last year involving Helldivers 2. 3 months after the game launched, publisher Sony Interactive Entertainment informed the Steam players that continuing access would require them linking their PlayStation Network account. Due to technical issues at the launch of the Helldivers 2, they weren't allowed to link in the requirements for Steam accounts, but then they worked it out. And, shout out to you Steam guys for bucking back at the stupid trend. Helldivers 2 players was naturally upset by the news. Not only was this a requirement, an unnecessary hassle, but it had the potential to bar folks altogether if they lived in countries that didn't have PlayStation Network access. That within itself is egregious. If I pay for a game, leave me the hell alone. Let me do what I got to do. Fast forward today, it's obvious why people are looking forward to Marathon, which, while not technically published by Sony, is still under the company's purview due to the ownership of Bungie. Where don't try to run from that, B. See, what he tried to do was duck the smoke if the game is absolute trash. He tried not to say, while technically not published by, it's published by Sony, you buckhead. While wondering why it might suffer the same fate, but everyone can breathe a sigh of relief knowing that it won't need an account entirely on a different platform if they want to play on the Xbox and the PC. You better get down and lay down. We made you bend the knee on God and them. Hashtag no PlayStation 6. You heard what it is. I'm going to keep the boot on Kong's neck this whole generation. We're going to run it up on these bums. Look at these bums, these degenerates. The Last of Us Complete Bundle announced for the PlayStation 5 is now available. The digital edition is now available with the physical collector's edition launching July 10th. Now in July, you'll be able to get your hands on a physical steelbook edition of this Last of Us Complete story. The publisher Sony Interactive Entertainment and developer Naughty Dog have announced The Last of Us Complete Bundle containing both The Last of Us Part 1 and The Last of Us Part 2 remastered for the PlayStation 5. It's available now digitally for the low price of $100. And will launch in a physical collector's edition via PlayStation Direct for $110 on July 10th. The physical collector's edition includes a steelbook case, physical disc of The Last of Us Part 1 and 2, remastered, the Left Behind prequel chapter, The Last of Us American Dreams comics, number 1 to 4, with a new cover art and a set of 4 litho art prints and a thank you letter from Neil Druckmann. How beautiful is that? To give you all of that in one package. Wow. Thanks, Sony. How do you continue to milk the consumer? Pause. How do you continue to bleed the same core fan base that has supported this game from top to bottom? They brought the original, they brought the remake, they brought the remaster. They brought this game how many different times? How many different times has your consumer brought the same game for you to turn around and give them not a new experience, just a new piece of something for you to put on your shelf to show your fandom? How many times must they capitalize on you as a consumer? Now, throughout the years, you was able to get this game at the cheapest. They sold it to you one way, then told you for an upgrade, you can pay $10 more. They did that to both of them. Then they turned around and did a complete remaster of the game to put it on the PlayStation 5. How does that make you feel as a PlayStation fan. The fact that they keep regurgitating the same experiences to you over and over and over again. I understand now why you look to Xbox to bring you new experiences. While we're playing South of Midnight, Avowed, Indiana Jones, which you will soon be playing, you guys have to play the same games, same story, over and over and over and over and over again. Now, I didn't want to believe this. I did not want to believe that Sony went to this length to try to get more money from the same sorry consumers that keeps patroning their wares. See, because somebody would think this is some type of deal. This isn't. Both of those games have been on sale for like $20 when it's come to the PlayStation Store. Both of them has been cheaper than I don't know what. You can get those games in GameStop, but no problem. If you purchase them digitally, there's no incentive, right? So I'm pretty sure they took whatever sales that they had, removed them out the store to make room for this bundle. It's like Nintendo and PlayStation is taking turns screwing over the consumer. We're going to get into Sony and their disgusting business practices, because if it's not Nintendo screwing you, Sony's up next. They're tagging that ass. Pause. Both of them. Hey, yo. That's nasty work, King. But on God and them, if I'm lying, I'm dying. I want to thank each and every last one of you for showing up. You made it this far in the video. That means that you rock with me and I rock with you. And let me tell you something. That means a lot. Because at the end of the day, you could have left anyway, anytime. I appreciate you. I'm in every chat. So every time these videos go live, I'm in every chat. I'm interacting. I read every comment and I text back to you. But trust and believe, I see everything. But I'm watching these companies and I'm seeing how egregious things are. Like, I found out that the new Switch 2, you know that GameCube controller? That controller is behind a paywall. Now, you could buy the controller, but the controller does not work for anything else other than the GameCube app. And the GameCube app is behind the Nintendo Switch subscription. So if you don't have the subscription, you don't have that. Do you understand? If anybody's watching me play Nintendo Mario Kart today online on Frontline Gaming Streams, which is a separate channel, you notice that I went to go pick up one of the other characters that was behind a paywall because I totally forgot and my Nintendo Online ran out. And I was like, I'm not going to put it on online because that actually shows all your information. So I got to do that again separately. But I say this to say that Cash App button that they got on top, that chat with the conversation with the little faces, that chat, all that stuff that you see, all those functionalities that they showed you are functionalities that are behind a paywall. You do not have access to actual functions that are in the machine that they're trying to sell you unless you have online. Now, what good is the machine then? That camera, nothing. All those functions and all that stuff happens online. I also saw somebody tell me, well, King, you're lying because the games that come on the disc, on the cartridge, have the game on it, man. Let me break it down to you. It has an access key to the upgrade. You're getting games, if they aren't Switch only, that has been on Switch 1. You're getting the Switch 1 game. And then you're getting the access key to download it. No internet, not going to happen for you. And some of the games, from what I'm hearing on the cartridge for the Switch 2, you have to download partial aspects to it too. So, again, these companies think we are fools. PlayStation will remake and remaster and regurgitate everything while also paywalling games to stay off of the Xbox platform and any other competitor so they can try to show value for their console. At the same time, raising prices in Brazil and other countries on services that they're offering nothing new. It's these egregious practices that we must take a stance against. We must put our foot down. We must say no. But at the end of the day, it's only up to the consumer. I find value in Xbox. I find value in Game Pass. I find value in Play Anywhere. I find value in cross progression, cross saves, cross entitlement. I find value in that. I found value in day and date and Game Pass. I find value in Game Share. I share my library with my son. I find value in all of this. I find value in them coming out with new hardware this year. And you're going to say, well, it's not made by Microsoft. It's made by their partner. The partner have the pipeline. The partner have the production. The partner has everything ready. Put it out. I have a ROG Ally upstairs. When this machine comes out from Asus, which will be a variation of whatever ROG it is, then that one upstairs can go, and I'm going to take the one with the user-friendly aspects to it that has Xbox involved from top to bottom. You see, regardless to what, I'm a gamer. But I'm going to go where my dollars is valued. Now, yeah, of course, you guys are a tax write-off. That PlayStation 5 Pro, that's a tax write-off. That Nintendo Switch 2, that's a tax write-off. These are tax write-offs. Don't confuse what I do with average consumer stuff, because I'm doing it for the love of the game, for the passion, for everything, but also with a business sense is mine. So if I'm playing on everything, I'm doing everything, first of all, I got to be able to tell you about everything, to give you a real description of what's going on. A lot of times you have these guys talking from the point of ignorance. That's not knowing. They don't know what's going on Xbox. Or maybe they do, and they're just telling you not to mess with Xbox. So I'm going to take that logo, and I noticed that NHL 25 dropped in Game Pass. Now, Game Pass has been rocking and rolling these past couple of days. You have Blueprints, you have NHL 25, and you have Commandos. Commandos is dope. I want to try that. I saw that. I think I had brought that to you guys before, so I want to try that. But also the wildest thing that I do want to try is Blueprints, because they said that might be like some form of Game of the Year type of thing. So I'm going to take that logo and I'm going to throw it around Game Pass, because I have options, baby. Unlike you PlayStation dudes that has a regurgitated remaster of a remix of something else that you purchase again and again and again, will I raise the price in Brazil? You have no options but to wait on whatever the hell we decide to throw on the floor so you can pick it up and eat it. And I'm going to tell you, you degenerates, not you guys. You guys are family. I'm talking about the pork begging ponies. Try to play the Game Pass.